Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Magdalena, and today I have two palettes from Kryptein Cosmetics that I would like to talk about. So I picked these up around Black Friday from I Feel Beautiful Canada, which is a Canadian indie makeup retailer. Kryptein Cosmetics, I believe, is a Chinese brand, and I'm not sure if there are other retailers you can pick it up from, but you can certainly pick it up from their website as well. I had originally planned to do a video when I first got this, but time just kind of got away from me, and eventually I was like, well, I don't think people would be that interested anymore. But the brand has now released a new duo of palettes, the same size as these ones, and with that, they are making a bundle where you can pick up these or one of these palettes alongside one of the new ones. So I thought it would be a good time to look at these palettes and talk a little bit about the formulas, and just if anyone was interested, they could get a little idea. So I'll go through swatches of both of the palettes, but first I'll give a quick overview. The mattes here are really nice. They're a formula I really enjoy. I do prefer more of a powdery matte formula, and these definitely are powdery, but they're a lot more substantial, a lot more velvety than, let's say, Dandelion's Cosmetics or some of the really dry matte formulas. The shimmers have a more creamy formula, but it's not that like putty-like cream formula. It's just a creamy powder formula, and they smooth out beautifully. As you'll see when I'm swatching, some of them are definitely a little bit thicker than others. Some are a little bit more sparkly, and some, well, they all have sparkle, but some are like much more sparkly. But they all smooth out beautifully, and they wear pretty well. I didn't have any major creasing problems, and I do tend to crease a lot. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. The first palette is the Violet Crazy palette. This has 6 mattes and 6 shimmers. Of the 6 shimmers, 5 of them are a triochrome or a multichrome, and one of them is a super glittery metallic gold. Now, some things I read said there should be a holochrome in here, but I don't see it. And I've looked at this under a fair amount of different lights, so I'm not entirely sure if that's just a misrepresentation or maybe a mistranslation of something, but I don't see any obvious holochromes in here. It has a really pretty kind of spring color story with some warm pinks, purples, greens, and then some warm browns. Affectionate is a warm pink with a matte finish. Fairy Tale is an iridescent multichrome that shifts magenta, pink, peach, orange, gold, and yellow with indigo sparkles. This is my favorite shadow in this palette, and probably my favorite shadow between the two. It's just so unique and so vibrant. Faded is a mid-tone purple matte with a slight cool undertone. Fallen Star is a duochrome that shifts yellow to blue with a sheer brown base. Silence is a warm sandy brown matte. Time Machine is an ultra sparkly metallic gold with a brown base. The shadow has a similar formula to the Moonscapes from Divina and other super sparkly gold and silver shadows. If you don't know what I mean by that, what I mean is that it has this very sharp, almost painful, glittery feel to it. I will not use this on my eyes. I will not use any shadows like this on my eyes. They make me feel very uncomfortable, and I do worry about eye safety with them, but I don't know if there's any kind of official policy on that. But either way, I find it really uncomfortable on the eyes, and I hate taking it off. It always irritates my skin. The one is a green-based multichrome that shifts violet, pink, peach, orange, gold, and chartreuse. Heartbeat is a mid-tone rose matte. Blossom is a jeweled multichrome with a black base that shifts purple, violet, pink, peach, orange, gold, and yellow with indigo and pink sparkles. As I'd mentioned, some of the material that I'd seen on this palette said that there was a holographic shadow in there, and I suspect this is the one they were referring to. As far as I can tell, it's not holographic, but I do wonder if those multidimensional sparkles might have been mistranslated to holographic. Midnight is a deep purple matte. Violet Crazy is a jeweled multichrome that shifts violet, pink, peach, orange, gold, yellow, and chartreuse with purple sparkles. Eternal is a deep, cool tone brown matte. And here it is all swatched out. Very warm toned, spring, vibrant palette. And now we have the second palette. This is the Atlantis palette. This one has a beautiful cool tone color story with some cool tone browns and then some purpley pink tones. I'm sure it's a surprise to no one that this is the one that really drew me in. I do love both of them, but this is definitely more my cup of tea. The palette contains 6 mattes and 6 shimmers, 5 of which are multichromes and 1 of which is a very subtly holographic traditional shimmer. Jellyfish is an iridescent multichrome with a teal, turquoise, blue, indigo, and purple shift. Relic is a cool toned taupe matte. This is the perfect contour color for me, so I'm always happy to have one of these in a palette as it makes the perfect base. Deluge is a jeweled light multichrome with a gray base that shifts teal, turquoise, blue, indigo, and purple. Aquaman is a powder blue matte. Siren is a purple-based multichrome that shifts gold, yellow, lime, green, teal, and blue. Again, surprising no one, this is my favorite shadow in this palette. I do love myself a spicy, contrasting purple multichrome. Coral is a mauve purple matte. Arc is a deep brown matte with a neutral undertone. Ollie Hacken is a sparkly silver metallic with a brown base and a slight holographic sparkle. Fair warning, and you might already know this if you know the correct name for this shadow. I looked it up and I could not figure out how to pronounce it. There was no information about it, so I just tried my best. Hopefully I didn't just totally butcher that, but if I did, I'm sorry. Whale is a deep indigo matte. Poseidon is a jeweled multichrome with a black base that shifts blue, indigo, purple, and violet. Stone is a deep charcoal matte. Mermaid is a jeweled multichrome with a black base that shifts violet, pink, peach, orange, gold, yellow, and chartreuse. And here it is all swatched out together. This is definitely my kind of color story. I love how it has these more kind of like neutral, wearable colors, and then it has those super vibrant shimmers, and it has those beautiful pastels, and then that deep, beautiful indigo. It is just such a beautiful palette, and I realize I just said beautiful 3 times, but it's beautiful. Not that I don't love the other palette as well, and I think they go quite well together, but this one is definitely the standout for my personal preferences. Alright, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments, did you get either of these palettes? Do you plan to get any of their new ones, or maybe pick one of these up with the new ones? Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye!